Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta, and my name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at Algorand. If you're enjoying us covering the Algo content and you'd like to see it on a more regular basis, why not leave us a comment down below letting us know so that we can see how many people are interested in it, see whether it's worthwhile us doing. Also, if you are going to drop a comment down there, you may as well hit that subscribe button if you are going to be interested, because if we get the numbers, we're going to start covering it on a more regular basis and we'll see how we go from there. Okay, so let's jump into the analysis. So there were a few things that we need to talk about. I really wasn't expecting the move to come this high, but we are technically still within a fourth wave range. It's just the structure that is quite strange within this. We were looking at this initially as a expanding flat correction within this point here, and we're looking at this to potentially end up here at the C wave when we last looked at it. Except we seem to have progressed to the upside a bit further now. Now, when we were talking about it, I did say that there's a couple of options that could play out here. And one of them was that we were talking about this fourth wave potentially being shorter and having a fifth wave as a diagonal in here, in which case we would be looking for this third wave potentially to start from here. However, it is also still possible that we are still within this fourth wave. So we just need to see how we get these reactions from this point. It is getting a bit high, and I really wouldn't want it to go much higher than this 1927 zone as a fourth wave. And if we have a look at this from this low point here, if I just pull a fib onto this, go onto there, and then back into that same low, we can see that this has actually come up and hit this 2.618. Now, the regular area that a expanding flat correction will travel to is this sort of 1.618 and 1.382. They can, however, progress higher towards this 2.618, though we need to actually have, just bear in mind that we could see some alternate structure within this, which might indicate that instead we're looking to target out a bit higher within this zone, within this fourth wave box that we have here instead. So these would slightly change the target area depending on which one we are in. So until we break down back below this low point here of this 1598 zone, we have to keep open the fact that we could actually look to progress to the upside some more here. So what could this look like? So like I said, we could have this still as a expanding flat correction to the upside, or potentially it could just be a more complex correction where this is a A, B, and then we got this as a C. There's a few ways of looking at this. So we're going to be looking at both the option that we could potentially still be within a fourth wave, and alternatively, we could also be looking to progress in a bigger move to the upside, potentially looking to target up this higher zone here. Okay, so how can we look at this move? So I'm going to remove some of the things from this, just so it's a bit cleaner when we're looking at it. And let's remove immediate. There we go. Okay, so now that we're looking at this in this way, we can look at this low point, and we were talking about the potential of having a 5-wave move to the upside. So the problem is that the structure doesn't fit really the way we were looking at it, because we were arguing that we had a 1, 2, maybe we had an extension with the 3, and then we had this 4th and a 5th, and we're looking to complete here. Though we've now progressed higher. The thing with this is we were looking at the potential of having a 5-wave move, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then potentially we could have a different shape within this. And what we would be looking at for that would be the fact that it is still possible to have a 5-wave move here. The only issue I have with this is the structure within this wave 3 here. This looks more like a 3-wave move. Now, that could be because it's not completed yet, and potentially there's some further extension going on here. It does meet the requirement of the 1.618 from here. The problem within this move, if we're looking at this as a 5-wave move, is if we wanted to look for, so this is a wave 1, and then this is the wave 3 for the same degree of trend. What we would have to look at is the potential that this hasn't actually hit the 1.618 area. And if I'm going to just drop it onto there so we get a nice... The impulsive area is actually only a typical 3rd wave move. So this 3rd wave would typically move up to this 1971 zone. For the most part, we haven't got to that yet. So if we're looking at this as a wave 1 in here, then we haven't actually met this requirement for this 3rd wave yet, and even structure-wise, it's not looking good. So it is possible that we could see we could see this have an additional leg to the upside here, in which case we'd look to pass above this this line, and then basically that would be looking for this fifth wave to the upside, which would then complete this third wave. So the way we'd be looking at this is within this, so that we'd have a 1, 2, 3. This would be a fourth wave here, and we're sort of right within the maximum zone we would want to go down for this. So if this is to play out, we can't actually cross below this 1791. If we cross below this 1791, it would effectively invalidate this fifth wave, and we would have to look at the structure again. And it would be more likely then that actually we've had some kind of a move into this high, and we could actually start to look to break down. The only confirmation would come by crossing down below this 1598 zone. Looking at this move here, this could be completed, and if I throw this fib onto this high point up into there, we can see if I zoom in, we've actually come down and hit this 1-to-1 already. So it's met the requirement for the most part. It's just structure wise it doesn't quite fit yet. So there could be a few things playing out here. This could actually develop into a triangle. It could just be a normal correction, like a more, so what was, let's have a look here. So that would be in a zigzag. So this could just be an ABC, ABC, and then finished in a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could actually still have one last push down here in a fifth wave. And the way that we'd be looking at that effectively would be that we could look at this as a 1, 2. All of this would become a 3, a 4, and then we'd be looking for that as a fifth wave to the downside. Though moving up back past this 1880 area would actually invalidate this, but it is possible we could still look to push down just a little bit deeper, but we wouldn't want to go past this 1791 zone. If we do progress down deeper here, we could look to potentially target out some of these lower points here in this this 18 cent region maybe, and then look to move back to the upside. Though, like I said, we wouldn't want to go below this high point here. And if it goes past this 50%, it becomes more likely that it's actually something else going on here. So if we do actually push to the upside from that 50%, what we'd be looking for is this as a target area, this 1971 to this 1938. If that does play out, then we would actually be looking for an additional fourth wave to the downside. So when it comes to tracking extensions like this, we need to bear in mind that we need to wait for the confirmation of this fourth wave. Don't just anticipate that it's going to happen, because sometimes there might be something within the structure which is slightly out, and we only get sort of confirmation of a lot of these things once we actually start to move away. So if we do actually find the support, look to push to the upside into this zone, then what I would want to be seeing is this, see whether we get this further support zone here between this 1824 to this 1890 zone. That would be a typical area. And then if that does play out, we could potentially look to push up towards this 20 cent 13 to this 1974 zone. So that's something we just need to keep an eye on, because if we do actually push up into this zone, that could then mark a completed 5-wave move. And if we do complete a 5-wave move like this, what we'd then be looking for is the potential to move back down. And what we would be looking for then, if we're going to look for this, because if this is going to be a 5-wave move like this, it becomes unlikely that it's still part of that correction, though it could still be part of that corrective structure. It's just would become far, no, I wouldn't really look at it the same, because this would become too big in relation. This C wave would be too big in relation to this A wave, so I would stop looking at it like that. If we had to break down from here, I would still accept the fact that this could be a flat, but the internal structure here isn't giving me a lot of confidence in that either. But if we do start to break down, and we do from this this fifth wave area up here, this 2013 to this 1974, potentially if we were looking for a bigger correction to the upside, we could look at this as an A. We'd be looking for this retracement in a B, and then looking to push up one more time for a C wave. And this would then basically give us a much bigger corrective move here, and we would have to see how this exactly plays out, because this B wave, it depends exactly where this falls to. We would expect it to stay above this 0.786 unless it was going to become a flat correction, and basically that's sort of, we'd have to wait for confirmation of this. But we can't, the problem is with B waves is they can sort of take any shape. So if it is going to become a B wave, and especially because we're looking for another fourth wave, it could actually become a triangle, it could become an expanding flat correction, a running flat correction. There's a number of things that it can become, so we'd have to wait for a bit more confirmation on that. So this is the way of looking at it as a 5-wave move. I'm going to just remove the stuff that we don't need here anymore. And the other thing we were talking about, because we haven't actually hit this impulsive trigger here, which is sitting at this 1971 zone, we can also just argue that potentially we just have this move here as a 3-wave move. And even if we do push up one more time with this 5th wave, if we don't cross above this 1971 zone, it is possible that this could actually just be a completed correction. And we could then look to break down again from there, where this has just actually been a 4th wave move. And if I just throw this back on, it's possible that somewhere within this count we've gone slightly out, and either we've had this 3rd wave complete here, or alternatively, like I said before, that we could have had this as a 4th and a 5th here, and that we could be within this other 3rd wave here. And like I said, if we are within this other 3rd wave, this would actually take us up into that zone that we'd be looking for as a maximum of a 50% retracement with this move as a ABC. As long as we don't cross above this zone here of this, like I said, this 1971, it is still possible that we could look for this to break down one more time as a 4th wave into this lower end here. And if we were to break down from there, let me just double check it. I think the zone would have changed slightly. So basically then our target area would be this 15 cent to this 14 cent 14. And that's how we would have to look at this move. We'll be continuing to track this move anyway and see how this progresses. But if we do form a 5-wave structure, then obviously we have a potential chance for a breakout. So we would have to track that retracement to the downside and then watch that next move to the upside. However, should this just move up here and roll over, then it would be possible that we could be looking for this 5th wave to the downside. So this is something we just need to bear in mind, because with both Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are expecting another leg to the downside. So if this does play out, I would expect Algorand to be dragged with them. And this would just basically reinforce it, that if we are following that with BTC and ETH and we're looking for that last push to the upside before a retracement, it's possible that we could be looking for this deeper move to the downside here. So we just need to be careful. Please use proper risk management if you are trading these things. Like I said, we'll keep you up to date. If you are enjoying the content, please let us know in the comment section below by liking the video or by subscribing, whichever way you prefer. And yeah, we'll have a look at bringing more content like this out on a more regular basis. I hope everyone has a great day, and if you enjoyed it, please smash that like button. We'll see you in the next video. Take care out there, everybody.